Did you, in the process, have the chance to follow them?
No, I did not follow them.
Didn't follow
I didn't.
But did you do perhaps a distant observation of the entire teams?
I monitored through the production
What
team.
did
Where
they-
are you doing?
So if we were to be asked to tell us what you would consider to be the individual contribution to the productions that they did, would you be in the position
immediately after the class or the session I had with them, we had some kind of assignment. We gave them an assignment, and then I saw them at work, and I worked with them. So you would see that they actually shot some short clips, and with that I knew what they could do and what they couldn't do.
Are there other areas that we should also assess then?
Like, I quite agree with you. I mean, we can look at the visuals that they actually took, but again, you need to be very careful in the sense that after filming everything, collecting all the materials, they worked with somebody two people who are now coming to show their strengths in the use of the machines, okay, the editors. I saw still pictures, like you said, you saw still pictures, but then I also saw attempts by one of the editors to move the still pictures, to create movement on the still pictures, which was really interesting. So you may see a still picture and think this is a movie because the guy has done something to it. Okay, so really the materials they got, I think
they got the materials.
They got the material. They did all the research, got all the material. So I would say that's why I said that they all did a good job in the research portion. Yeah.
This challenge is not to make produce a best film producer or whatever, but I guess we're looking at how they have grown over the weeks, the process they went through, how we'll be able to assess them based on their creativity, their innovation, and things like that, and then be able to zero in to the individual roles that they each played in the team. But unfortunately, you couldn't observe them.
You see, the teams are quite. We need to give them that kind of freedom, the leeway to be able to actually decide who plays what. And like you said, if they chose the right person, then they are very wise. I mean, and it will show on the screen. So for me,
one group may have used the fact that, look, you speak well, you know this area, speak. Another group may have said, look, you're pretty, and therefore you're going to give us a very good pretty face on the, what do you call it? I mean, it's...
I think we should explore that.
So we should explore that with them and not with you.
Thank you.
You were quite clear in your instructions, yeah.
You can be evicted at this point in time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I've studied all of them a bit in terms of their personality and all of that. The thing with Elum is body language, and it manifests in so many ways that when she's under pressure, when she's stressed out, she laughs. That's a defense mechanism. Somebody sitting somewhere might think that she's not serious. And I've had time to talk to her about it, that your body language may convey the wrong message if you don't learn to manage it. So it was quite clear during the interview that I think it was Tigo or the UBA guy, one of the remarks he noted was that this person is not serious. And you could tell that it was her body language just...
No, it wasn't
It's not just body language, it's also just... She's not that articulate.
She has a communication problem.
She has and she comes across as lacking depth. She doesn't have depth. Whenever, I've sometimes wondered, how did she get to this point? But then I think there are other qualities that she has, but she's not articulate, and she seems to lack depth. And she's also, I guess, for how long has she been in Ghana?
About 2 years or so.
But for me, one of the things that was strange to me was when she's been consistently being told not to repeat questions. She kept repeating.
No, but that's her style.
It's a habit she
Yeah,
has.
it's a habit.
Yes,
It's a habit.
she just couldn't break
It's a habit.
at that point.
If you're going into a debate, whatever position you take, you must know the other side. And you must be able to speak for the other side as well. Yeah. Because that's the only way you can defeat those arguments. And therefore, that was going to stand. And so all the preparations that she had made was for the other side. And she couldn't even manage that material and speak to it from an opposite point of view.
But are we talking about everybody or are we talking about Elom? Elom clearly didn't cut it.
We're talking about everybody. The issue for us, which came out in the debate, was that the panel scoring. You remember when we finished, and Chris Hepia was on the panel, myself, Chris Hepia, and Pascal. When we finished, we were clear in our minds who in the respective teams had done well, and for which reason we identified 3 people who felt if it was just based on the debate, we would recommend for eviction. But the actual scoring does not reflect what in our minds. Because we scored, we gave marks.
Okay.
When we tabulated the marks, it doesn't reflect, and the ranking thereof, it doesn't reflect what in our minds we perceive to be who did well, who didn't do well in the groups. And it's very interesting, and I think it's something we need to explore. What about Dorinda? Because Dorinda is still in the...
No, Dorinda has always been shadowed over by the group. You know, substance-wise, she's narrow.
It means that our recommendation in terms of the ranking holds. Elom, Dorinda, and Efumo.
But let's also not take it too heavy on her with the film text, because there were 5 of them or 4 of them. Okay.
That's what we want to know.
That's why we want
to know what went into the decision-making process.
May I interrupt your briefing session? Our candidates are waiting. As you've gone through the criteria, it comes down to the ball of kicking out 2 candidates, and I'm sure since there are 3 of you, you can play the ball among yourselves. So if we may go into the boardroom, we want to bring them in and kick out our candidates. And if you're watching at home, keep your fingers crossed, because we're going to kick out 2 candidates shortly.